All right, everybody. We have a very special guest here. Maybe if you're walking around VCon today, you're seeing a bunch of these freaking badass hats here. I am with the, correct me if I'm wrong here, the founder and the creator of BartBridge hats, Mike Hampton.
Maybe co-founder, but I'm the graphic designer for all the BartBridge hats. Yes.
Let's tell a little bit of the backstory here. Before we get to your relationship with the Veefriends family, let's tell a little bit of the story about the company. Super creative, so I'm assuming you're a creative graphic designer by trade. How did you get into the hat game?
So, yeah, graphic designer, worked in comics for a long time, freelance artist, and so I had an ad on Craigslist for graphic designer for hire. Luke, who's over here talking to some other people, was looking for a graphic designer to create images for book covers, posters, and T-shirts like the one I'm wearing here.
I almost want the mic up to the shirt, like the shirt's gonna talk.
The shirt, it has stories to tell. Let me tell you.
The shirt does have stories to tell. The shirt has been in places you don't even want to know.
How did you know?
Because I speak to your shirt. We're buddies. Sorry.
Our shirts speak the same language.
I speak your name.
So anyway, so I designed a bunch of, we're in the Bay Area, so I did a bunch of, he had a lot of ideas for creating Golden State Warriors shirts that weren't Golden State Warriors shirts.
Right, unbranded, but you could tell by the color schematic here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm wearing a shirt that says We the Bay, which was like a counter to the We the North when they were playing Toronto in the finals. And so we did a bunch of those designs, and then we started doing these camo jackets where we'd repurpose old, the jacket also has lots of stories, where we'd repurpose old jackets, like camos and cardigans and bomber jackets, put fabric on them and put his team on them. But then we were like, we can't just be tethered to sports.
Right.
And so we'd done a couple of hats that said Dub Nation and Dubs, and then we would sew the patches on the hat. There would be the open spot at the top, so there's a little pocket back there that was kind of like our signature thing that differentiated.
Why would a hat need a pocket?
For your lunch money.
You put your lunch money in there, people.
Yeah, secret phone numbers when you go to the mall. And
for all those people that don't have phones to store phone numbers anymore.
That's right. And so we said, well, all right, let's not bank on the Warriors because we saw the end was nigh. What if we did a San Francisco hat? But let's just do it in Giants and Niners colors. And let's do an Oakland hat. We'll do it in Raiders and A's colors. Oh, let's do a Berkeley one. We'll do it in Cal Bear colors. And we're like, let's just ditch the sports thing and let's just do all the towns in the Bay because they're all right next to each other and everyone loves to represent where they're from. So we did Richmond, we did Vallejo, we did Castro Valley, and then Hayward, and then we'd set up at our first Friday in Oakland, and people were like,
like street festivals, flea markets.
Yeah, lots of that. And people were like, oh, do you have Lafayette? Oh, do you have San Jose?
So people wanted more of them, and they wanted to customize, and because they're badass. Tell us real quick before I want to continue the story. Tell us a little bit about the hat itself. What makes these hats different?
Well, we looked for a long time to get good quality hat, and as well as the patch. So like I do the design, I send it off to our patch company. They send back, they send us a preview.
Right.
The quality of the embroidery is like primo.
Can't be shanty quality.
No, the hat itself, we look for a long time to get the right hat. So
it's not a trucker hat. It's not a surfer. It's a hybrid. It's like So I'm a bit of a hat guy, and I'm a big fan of this melon hat. I'll tell you that. But what I love about this hat, it's not one thing or another. It's not to this or to that. How would you describe the style to anyone who's only listening and not watching our video?
Well, we kind of
also go to the website, but check it out.
That's right. We kind of brand it as like kind of the premium quality trucker hat. They've got mesh backing. The one I'm wearing right now is kind of a black denim. It's the low profile version.
Yeah, I like that one.
Curved brim, like the one you're wearing. We also have the flat ones. But they're high quality, and you can get a cheaper hat out there. But ours it's durable, it lasts, and you see it from across the street.
Right, you notice it. It does. So I want to get back to the story. So give us a timestamp here when things are kicking up, when you're seeing there's a real demand, when you're seeing that there's more of an interest outside of just the Cali area. Like, when did things start to click? Like, shit, this is real.
Funny enough, it was during COVID.
There's nothing funny about COVID, Mike.
No. Let me read.
No, I'm kidding. We need more COVID jokes. We'll edit that one out.
We had an article about us in the San Francisco Chronicle, and I feel like that was the tipping point where we saw an influx of people, and then people were requesting their own cities that we hadn't done yet. And so then we opened up our website to have suggest your own city or town. And when we get cities that even we hadn't even heard of, but we love California. Like, you know, we grew up here, went to high school here. Like, we love it. And there's all the small towns are what make it beautiful. And so why don't we take our love for California and pour it into the design of the patches? And I think that the fact that we would pick these small towns and have something that, if you're from that small town, even a larger town, it's not the most obvious thing. Like, we're not going to do San Francisco with the Golden Gate Bridge.
No, you're not going to be cliche.
Yeah.
Even though there's but even this hat here, there's two things that I noticed on it. One, it's the old school race car, right? It's the old school car, and I assume that's the state flower of Indiana.
Yes. Yeah. So for Indianapolis, we did. I picked the old school car and the state flower, which we love putting flowers on our patches.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of transcends from the original clothing design.
Exactly. You see what I did?
Oh, I see everything, Mike.
There's some intention here. Yes.
Intention is 9/10 of the law. Is that the expression? Side note here, and speaking of, I did notice the detective John McClane, diehard pin. This is when he's climbing through the air duct in the first one. Yes, the first one. Yes, in the what's the name of the building? Nakatomi Plaza, right?
That's right. Yes, exactly. Never forget.
Is there a story? Never forget. Is there a story behind that pin?
Not other than I have a weird man crush obsession with Bruce Willis as a surrogate father for me. No.
But that's it, part two. But let me ask you this: is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
I'm going to say how Bruce Willis said it best in the Bruce Willis roast. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's not an action movie. It's a Bruce Willis movie. And that's how he ends his roast.
All right, so these hats kick it off. How did you get on the radar of Veefriends? Did you find them, and did they find you?
So we came to VCon last year, and Luke's been listening to Gary Vee for years. Yeah. He turned me on to him. He's like, hey, we're going to this VCon thing. I'm like, all right. And so we came, but we did prototypes of some of the Series 1 Veefriends that Luke had already bought. And our goal was, let's get to VCon, and let's just get Gary a hat, and then it'll work.
Just get it in his hands, right? Just get it in his hands.
We just knew. And within the first 20 minutes of showing up at this thing, the outdoor party, we got it to him. He took off the hat he was wearing, and he put our hat on.
And which hat was that?
It was a swaggy sea lion hat.
And he's like, dude, this is flex.
We just kind of like caught him at the edge of his autograph tent. We're like, Gary, and he handed it to him. Day one of the actual event, indoors, he walks out on stage and he's wearing our hat.
What was that reaction like? Did your balls tingle?
They shriveled up and went inside, and then slowly dropped back out. Yes.
Was that like the magical aha moment? Like, oh my God, this shit's real.
Yeah, because we have been talking to folks sitting around us, and everyone's super supportive at these places. Like, this community is so great.
That's the best part.
And so everyone was like rooting for us, and then he walks out, and the three of us, me, Ashley, our GM, and Luke, just like, yeah, we lose our mind. And everyone around us was like, yeah, and giving us high fives, and slapping each other around, and
that's the magic of it.
Yeah, it was.
And now they're all over the place. Yeah. And you feel like part of the Veefriends world.
I feel like I'm in there, yeah, and I just, I did a panel with some of the other people who've collabed with Gary, and to look out into the crowd as I'm talking and see our hats everywhere, it's so rewarding, and it feels good. I let it sink in, because I know it's not easy to do.
No, it's not. I applaud you for that, man.
Thank you, man.
And has there been any conversations about brand extensions with people that you met from VCon about other brands, other lines of business?
Sure, yeah. I mean, there's definitely that. We've also partnered with Vayner Sports Pass, so we're working on stuff with AJ, and that'll be out soonish.
I got some alpha right there. Well, this show's not coming out for a couple of weeks. We still have to edit it and everything.
Right.
So there'll be some. I mean, that's the alpha, man. What is the most exciting thing on your horizon? Aside from Vayner, like, what's happening, man? What are you excited about?
I mean, we're excited about. We're excited about the expansion, and it's difficult in a business, when you're at that point where we want to expand and we want to grow, but how do we do it in the most intentional way? And so, through this collab, we just did also a collab with the Sacramento Kings, doing some like the
you mean like licensing deals? Like, do you have to go through the NBA and?
Well,
they do it?
They did it through their Fanatics company, so it was like a special release. But you know,
Some of that Michael Rubin money.
I
Please, Michael Rubin, if you're, I obviously I'd love to have you on the show, but if you're listening,
listen up. Yeah, just like working with other cool collaborations. Like it's so fun. And
I love it.
Yeah.
But what has been the most, Mike? What's been the most challenging thing about running a business?
I kind of touched on it a second ago. It's like we want to grow, but it's hard to grow in the intentional way. You know, you can get lost trying to do all these other extra, collaborations, or we're going to work on this now, work on this, but that might distract you from what's the actual thing that's going to help us actually grow.
Right.
And saying no to certain people or certain things. And
it's hard to say no, right, to a collab.
It's hard to say no.
Some things just don't make sense from a brand perspective. Maybe some people think it's going to work, but it doesn't. It's all about their intention. So, Mike, I want you to go enjoy the rest of this day, but I want you to leave us some words of wisdom. What is the single greatest piece of advice that you've ever received that you take action on daily? You wake up, it's a mantra, something you just truly believe in your heart that keeps you focused.
Yeah, one of my friends, his artist name is Skinner. He told me this quote when I was trying to get him to do a pinup for me was, if you don't follow your own dreams, someone will pay you to follow theirs.
Yes.
And I think about that. I wrote it down and I stare at that on the wall every day when I wake up in the morning.
You don't want to be someone else's boss. So tell everyone where they could find you. Where can they find the hats?
Yeah, the hats are at BartBridge.com. BartBridge, like we started selling our stuff on the bridge from the BART station to the Oakland Coliseum.
Intentional.
And you can find me also at Mike Hampton Art.
Mike, thank you so much for joining us, man.